is their first split playing together. Huge shout out to Edward Gaming. They've pulled out everything and it worked this time.
And not only are they the first team to take a best of 5 off of SKT in international tournament, they're the first team to ever beat Faker's LeBlanc in competitive play. Absolutely just huge. That's like another thing on top of those medals that they can go home and brag about.
I gotta say though, that team composition was specifically drafted to counter LeBlanc in every way, shape, and form. Tanks, spell shields, left, right, and center, lots of magic resist, and it just shows how hard it is to beat this guy's LeBlanc. 7K down and is still making plays. Reminds me of like Terminator 2 trying to fight against no matter what you do, it's coming back.
And that's the way you want to do it, right? At the end of the day, this was the way to win. I'm holding my pen. I didn't take notes during that game. I mean, if I'm being honest, all of us were glued to the screen, just encapsulated by that game. If we try and break it down, we have to look at exactly what you're talking about, Crumbs. Leaving the LeBlanc up, knowing that they'll go for it, taking Evelyn into that. Clearlove has played it before, so it wasn't out of nowhere.
I feel like this is exactly what I imagined for the last game of the best of 5. I said it before and everybody was kind of laughing, but if you ever want to pull out a counter strategy, this was the game for it. With the Evelyn, I think that was surprising for all of us.
Yeah, the thing is, right, they want to play aggressive in that lane. They've got an Urgot, they've got the LeBlanc, they want to be the bullies, but then you've got this Evelyn running around God knows where diving turrets. Clearlove, huge shout out to that guy. Every single game he's stepped up and he's just an amazing jungler.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic pick against SKT because the way that they operate is they're a team that operates off of information, and you have to know where the Evelyn is at all times, or else they don't go for these aggressive moves. And then Clearlove, his tower dives all tournament long have just been absolutely perfect.
And I feel like we also need to shout out Faker here for his insane LeBlanc play. Even if it was not successful, you can't get more end boss feeling than facing LeBlanc.
The Magi's, oh
I gotta tell you though, I personally felt like, sure, his LeBlanc was stellar. We saw exactly what you would expect. He played it the best he could, but I don't think it was the best pick. When you see the Maokai Alistar locked in right off the bat, 2 of the hardest tanks to kill in the game, and they didn't ban LeBlanc. Like, you know, every time somebody's playing against you, in the back of their heads they're thinking, LeBlanc's
but then
LeBlanc's
you're trying to theory craft against LeBlanc's Faker, so that's also kind of dangerous.
Well, gentlemen, an exciting match to be sure, but we do have an interview ready, so we're going to pass it over to Shox for a word with 2 of our champions.
Thank you very much, Daz. I'm joined here by EDG's Koro and Clearlove after that amazing series and taking the title here at MSI. Unbelievable, really, what play. First off, I'd just like to get the first reaction from the both of you after bringing SKT to a Game 5 and taking that international title. Clearlove maybe first.
很恭喜你们两个，就想问你们两个，你们能和 SKT 比赛，在5场中能拿到胜利，能拿到世界冠军，你们有什么感受？
就很激动吧。然后在这个 BO5里面，我们也学到了很多东西和经验，之后 EDG 会越变越强的。
We're a little overwhelmed and very, very excited. In this best of 5, we learn a lot, and EDG will become even better than now.
All right, even better than that. Koro, exceptional performance once again. Those Gnar moves in Game 1 were phenomenal, yet you wanted to go for the Maokai to beat Marin and all the others. Tell me about your series.
Koro, 你表现也特别出色，你特别第一场比赛选了 Gnar。 表现特别好，然后每一场比赛完了以后，你都选了 Maokai 和 Marin 比赛，你有什么感受？
因为我觉得大树这个英雄很全面，然后开团特别厉害，然后打架、保护什么的都很全面，所以我觉得这个英雄比纳尔更容易赢，所以我选择大树。
I feel like Maokai is a very versatile champion. He can engage team fights really well, as well as be able to PO for carries. So because of the versatility, I felt like he's a better champion to pick than Gnar.
Well, it turned out very well. And then Clearlove, yesterday when I talked to you about the Bengi matchup, we talked about his champion pool. Bengi was on Nunu, and you decide to take that risk and go for the Evelyn. Tell me about that choice and to make that decision in Game 5 of this so important series.
昨天跟你说你和 Bengi 比赛，你说他的选择英雄的不多你最后一场比赛选了Eve， 你的感受是什么？为什么选了 Eve 在那么重要的比赛当中？
因为我觉得伊芙琳是用来 counter 鲁鲁的，因为鲁鲁最好的作用就是做视野， 但伊芙琳是隐身的看不到，然后我也为此练习了很多次。我觉得这个是我们的隐藏大招吧，就是在对面选择鲁鲁的时候，我会选择伊芙琳。
I felt like Evelyn is a counter to Nunu, mainly because Nunu, all he does is counter jungle, and you can't really see Evelyn because she's invisible. Also, I've been practicing Evelyn a lot, and I feel like this is our secret counter pick to anybody who runs Nunu.
Secret weapon, and you guys are very analytical. This champion beats this champion was a better choice, but it must mean something to break that faker winning streak coming in and having that strategy tailored especially to take him down. Was that the plan all along?
你们能终于打败 Faker 的勒布兰，一直没输过，你们是不是安排好的？
Koro maybe.
因为小胖平常在 LPL 里面也用莫甘娜打赢过妖姬，所以我们这一次就故意放的妖姬，然后让小胖用莫甘娜去战胜他。
Because we know that Pong's Morgana is really strong and can beat LeBlanc, we purposely left LeBlanc open for him to pick it, so we can pick the Morgana into the counter.
Wow, amazing to do that in Game 5. Finally, fantastic international title here for you guys on this stage. Do you feel like you have found the team and the strategy to keep this going, knowing that the World Championship is in a couple of months and you'll want to prove something over there?
很恭喜你们，很恭喜你们能拿到这个世界上的胜利。你们现在觉得你们的队伍是不是已经组织很好了？因为2个月以后我们会开始上世界上打赛。
我觉得我们队伍的人员配置，我觉得已经算很顶尖了。至于我们之后2个月，我觉得 EDG 是需要去完善阵容，然后很多套阵容去准备 S5吧。
I feel like our team composition and our players, our synergies are really, really strong. In the next 2 months, we'll build up our champion pool so that we can bring out even more champions and compositions for the World Championships.
Well, you guys are already very impressive. Thank you so much. Congratulations, EDG winning MSI. Dash, back over to you.
Thank you, Shocks. We heard it from them even about their strategy, knowing Pons Morgana could stack up against the LeBlanc. So, Sheepy, I want to come back to you and let you finish your point here about that LeBlanc pick.
Yeah, I think that it is risky to give Faker LeBlanc, but I think they did everything correct. They had it planned out, and I think this is something that we will see more coming into Worlds and in the future League of Legends if we look forward. Those varying champions that specifically counter one champion, and I hope that we can see more diversity in the champion pools overall.
Yeah, and shout out to the coach of EDG, Aaron, because, oh my God, every time EDG, like I picked SKT for this series, but every time EDG locked in a champion select, I was like, shit, their champions look really good. I was like, oh God, that comp. Even the game they lost, I was like, that is a really good composition to run. And SKT looked like they were flailing around a bit, didn't look like they had cohesive comps, and the order that they selected their champions in was a little all over the place, right? It's like they already have Maokai locked in. Let's lock in a Gnar when there's Annie still up and things like that. And then this time they're like, all right, let's lock in the LeBlanc before we've seen a whole lot of what that comp can do. Even what was locked in, it was like they seemed like they were set in what they wanted to lock in and in what order, and they didn't adapt.
The reason I was surprised with the LeBlanc pick that early is because he hovered over the Lulu first. And we're thinking, well, you know, Lulu does really well against LeBlanc in lane. You could just hold off of the LeBlanc pick, see what they do next, and then decide on your picks. But he just locked it in right there. And you saw how he had to play. He could never use distortion aggressively versus Maokai, versus Alistar. You're never going to hit that damage. That's a huge amount of burst that you're missing out. He's forced to use his double sigil of silence. Is it silence? It's not silence.
Sigil of Malice.
Sigil of Malice, twice. Not enough damage to one-shot anyone.
Yeah, man, shout out to Pawn. He went through both gods, and this is a guy that all season long just like plays anything he wants. I felt sorry for Mako because he used to play Viger mid. Now he pulls out a Morgana. He should just move down to support realistically, but every single thing they threw at him, this guy seemed to have an answer. Credit to his coaching staff, but more importantly, credit to the player because twice now, Worlds and MSI, this guy's shown up huge on an international stage.
Well, it really does speak to the entire organization, though. All of these points that we're making here, that Han was confident enough to go up in that matchup against Faker, that the coaching staff, the support staff, crafted this composition for them. And then in all the previous games leading up to this final one, we have pointed out a different player on that team at different times and said that they were the reason that they won a certain game. You look at Mako, you look at Clearlove in the jungle, you look at Koro in the top lane. Every single one truly is a threat.
I think this team is incredibly powerful, and they're the ultimate testament that smiles don't win games. Even at Worlds and Pond 1, they didn't even know what's going on. They're not even smiling. It's just another day for them.
Deft in particular has like eyes of a killer. That guy just blankly stares at you like, and he's really good at it as well. I really like it.
Nice role play there.
Thank you.
I like it. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and scrub through the footage and find somewhere where they're all smiling in order to prove you wrong. Well, this week it was clear that one player, though, was truly the linchpin in Edward Gaming's rise to the top of the tournament with the highest KDA of any player at MSI and a 100% kill participation in all of his team's 9 First Bloods. Our MVP of the midseason invitational is EDG's jungler, Clearlove.
Oh my God, in a game, in a tournament that was all about turret diving and setting them up and getting that pressure, he was the king of those two things this tournament.
And also Evelyn.
Yeah.
I mean, that just means his team in 13 games, he had part of First Blood 9 times out of 13. That is incredibly impressive. Like, this guy, like, everybody that jungle should be taking notes from him.
And he plays everything. He plays everything from aggressive junglers now in his Lee Sin to the Eve to the Nunu. The guy's just good at every single part of the game. In particular, how he engineers the turret dives over there, but his team fighting spot on, his lane's presence is really good. And I just think he's got the best instinct out of any jungler I've seen at the moment. He's really come into fruition, because that wasn't something you always said about Clearlove, but he's made a very good brand for himself now.
Yeah, personally, I was not too keen about EDG because I had my heart kind of over to SKT, which was also shown in the beginning, but this team really showed me different. That was an absolutely crazy series and really entertaining. Even though he played twice Nunu in the last game, we had Nunu again. I was really, really entertained by both decision-making, the aggressiveness coming out of EDG, and I hope we can see more of that in the future.
Well, plenty of phenomenal play from Clearlove and the rest of the gang. And another key part in Edward Gaming's win was their adaptation in picks and bans. Now, to commemorate the 2015 mid-season invitational, the winning team comp from today's final game will be available on the store in a bundle that is 50% off starting on May 11th. So I know how badly you all want Evelyn. Go get her now. She's so cheap. Go get her. I mean, can you believe it? You're like now, in hindsight, you're hoping he chose a million other things, but Evelyn comes out. All right, well, as we close the books on the first mid-season invitational, it's time to look towards the summer split as teams around the world continue their journey on the road to the Summoners Cup. The international wildcard representative from MSI will be first out of the gates as the Turkish Champions League begin on Saturday, May 16th. Both the League of Legends champions from Korea and the League of Legends Masters Series will begin their games on Wednesday, May 20th. And China's League of Legends Pro League will be right behind them on Friday, May 22nd. Then the European League Championship Series picks back up on Thursday, May 28th, and the North American LCS follows that on Saturday, May 30th. So a lot of League of Legends here to come. That means you'll be able to continue following the action around the world soon enough. And that wraps things up for us. I'd like to thank our analysts for lending their expert insight all weekend long. And on behalf of myself and the entire broadcast team, thank you for joining us for the first annual Mid-Season Invitational. And we'll see you back here for the Summer Split.
Yay.
Woo! Professional League of Legends has come to Florida. The first ever mid-season invitational.
Double Doge from the top lane. The hits go in. Oh, 10 points to Double Doge. First blood. But Sheik does kills Faker. Only set on the base. He had This is the cost of sending 4 people mid to kill Faker on his birthday. Bang's going in.
SK Telecom a run for their money like nobody else could.
AHQ take down Team Solo Mid.
This LMS team is showing up for MSI.
Much higher expectations of TSM coming into this.
Depth is legendary, and EDG, this is what we were expecting for this team heading forward. That was a disgusting performance from the Chinese. Easy Hood crushing absolutely everybody. Bang gets the kill credit, knocks more back in, an absolute slaughter in favor of SKT.
An incredible turnaround, SK Telecom from a 10,000 goal deficit, undefeated in the group stages at MSI. Faker eats 2 shurikens, the knockup is interrupted, Ignite, plus 1 more!
The first time that this SK Telecom has ever lost to a Western team.
Double kill for Bang, triple kill for Bang, quadra kill for Bang! SK Telecom are your first finalists at the mid-season invitational.
And we're gaming going to take this series 3-0. They're headed to the finals.
Some rivalries are immune to the ravages of time, trumping all other grudges and rancor across history.
Turret falls, Messiah retreats back to his aim.
It's amazing!
You just gotta say GG, man. Sometimes the other team's just better.
Both of these teams have fought incredibly hard to get to this point.
Dodges the
Let's see how EDG adapts here.
draw, says Destiny, takes down Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, Game 5 is here.
Flash out every which way. EDG is all over SKT. LPL's Edward Gaming are the 2015 Mid-Season Invitational Champions.